Bottom of the first inning here in Newport, Rhode Island, as Fishers Island Lemonade squad against their first licks against Ty Keeley, the big southpaw out of Merrimack College. After Rob Butler gunned down Christian Beal to end things in that first inning.
He's going to face a pretty tough test against Fishers Island squad that's looked a lot better here in the last couple of weeks. They've made some additions, and you got to like how this lineup's coming together for head coach Frank Holbrook.
Yeah, again, Spencer Smith and Addison Kopak were at it. Now this is their 6th game playing as first pitch misses out.
And they'll be without Max Power today, who we understand was injured Friday night, out of the lineup today.
And that Spencer Smith, who has been a staple as a leadoff hitter here for Frank Holbrook's ball club, was held hitless on Friday against South Coast Health, his first game without a hit or reaching base.
All 3 of those pitches close to start this at-bat for Healy. Right on that outer half, just missing the corner.
That's good discipline here from Smith. And there's a called strike from our home plate umpire, James Fonseca. Christopher Lima, the field umpire here for today. Healy's 3-1. That one's ripped hard up the ground, up the middle. And Spencer Smith collects the first hit for Fishers Island here in the bottom of the first inning.
Well, he saw 4 consecutive pitches on that outer half to start the at-bat. He gets another one from Healy there. Doesn't try to do too much with it. You know, if you try to pull that ball and really get it out, you're going to roll it right over to second base. So not a bad job there by Smith, just trying to guide that back up the middle. And he's aboard with a leadoff hit in front of the heart of this lineup, which has been rapidly improving. And Addison Kopak, who stands in, has been a big part of that resurgence for Fishers Island in the last couple of weeks. They got a chance to lock down the 3 seed if they could string together a couple of solid games here.
Yeah, a team that struggled out of the gate is now 3-2 over the last 5 games again since Kopak and Smith were added to the roster.
They're only a game back of Paul Bailey's, which is 6-7. Fishers Island at 5-8. So they might have a chance to get the 2 seed, but regardless, it doesn't really make a huge difference. You just want to make sure you're not the 4, so you miss the playoffs.
Again, how it works here, just 4 teams in the league. 3 of the 4 make it. A couple tiebreakers in place as well, but the 1 seed would get the bye, which looks like it's going to be Kettle Bottom. And then you got 2 and 3 would play each other to play into the championship game then for a 3-game series as the 1-1's fouled back.
So the way it's going to work, according to a press release by the league from Commissioner Mike Falcone, is that the playoffs will begin August 18th and 19th with a wild card game on Tuesday. That's on 8/17. You see that on the left of your screen. So Tuesday will be the wild card game, 3 versus 2, to make the championship series, which will be the next day.
As Kopak goes down looking, big first out for Ty Keeley.
So championship series, which will feature this Kettle Bottom squad, will begin with Game 1, Tuesday night, 6:30. They'll face the winner of that wild card matchup, and then Game 2 on Wednesday, 3 o'clock. Then Game 3, if necessary, will be at 7 o'clock. So it should be a real exciting finish to this season.
That's why this is the second to last Sunday. You have a full another 3 games next week, and then right into the playoffs. So,
yeah, Kettle Bottom head coach David Fisher, who's the head coach at the University of Rhode Island, and he talked about in a quote that it wouldn't be summer college baseball without somebody taking home a title. These players have given it all throughout this summer, and to be able to play for a championship is very meaningful, something that no one will forget, especially under the circumstances this summer.
Especially, other summer leagues, you get rings and stuff. That's always some nice hardware you can bring home.
Well, I don't know about rings.
Well, I don't know about rings
maybe
here,
some ring pops. We'll see what they have in the budget. But you give a lot of credit to Commissioner Falcone and his staff of volunteers and assistants. They've really done an outstanding job just to be able to put this thing together in a matter of weeks and get these players back on the field.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Jake Core, the second baseman, and that's what really kind of said the first week. A couple games is testing it out for the first 2 or 3 games or so, and then we're underway, and that's kind of what happened here this summer. As runner going, Coro goes down swinging. Cyprian pump fakes and able to slide into second base is Spencer Smith with a stolen bag.
Oh, back-to-back strikeouts for Healy. Good base running there by Smith to get into scoring position with 2 outs. A little bit of a delayed reaction there by Cyprian. Not able to get that throw down there in time. So chance here for Billy Butler with a runner in scoring position.
I think it was just on a swing and miss from Cora. Might have, just for, half a second or so, delayed Cyprian from throwing down, and Smith has some speed as well.
Yeah, being a catcher is the toughest position in college baseball. That's my opinion. It's the toughest position to develop from a pro prospect standpoint. It's just hard to get those reps. You have to not only be proficient at handling a pitching staff and working with a number of guys, that, especially in summer ball, that you're not used to working with as Butler swings and misses. And then you have to work on your offensive game. So you have to be.
It's not easy.
You can't struggle at the plate either. So it's the toughest position, I think, for college coaches and then for professional organizations to find and cultivate.
0-1 misses inside to Billy Butler. Ball and a strike.
We've been fortunate to see a couple good ones, though. Cyprian's been good. Alex Lane, one of the league leaders in RBI. Good catcher. Alex Martinez for Paul Bailey's a young catcher who's got a lot of power.
Called strike again on Butler. He's down on the count 1-2. Yeah, remember we had a guy last summer up on the Cape named David Aviti out of Grand Canyon, and people and scouts are raving about his defensive abilities. Unfortunately, the bat was never there. He was barely hitting above the Mendoza line at Grand Canyon, but he's MLB defensive ready.
I think teams now, professional teams, are willing to overlook the offensive side of things because they've become more proficient in analyzing things like pitch framing, which reveal the value of
how many strikes you can buy from an umpire.
Yep, pitches that are outside of the zone, they're able to frame and get the called strike. And I think teams are now have a greater understanding of the value of those catchers as they used to.
Butler goes around, strike 3, according to James Fonseca, and Healy strikes out the side over through 1, still scoreless between Kennebottom and Fishers Island. Stay with us here on the NCBL Broadcast Network. Top of the second inning, it will be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters as Kevin Cyprian returns to the dish. He did bat in that first inning, but not an official AB as Christian Beal was caught stealing by catcher Rob Butler. So he gets to have a second look, but the first time around against Will McFadden. As Cyprian drives that one to left field, Linsky backing up, turns around, and one hops off the wall. And Cyprian's going to cruise into second base with the leadoff double here to start the second.
So for Cyprian, I think clearly sitting on that pitch after seeing a couple from McFadden before he was stranded at the plate to end last inning. So he just got that off the end of the bat. If he gets that off the barrel, it's out of here. But instead, it's a one-hopper off the wall. Lidsky, I don't think, got a good read of it off the bat. As Cyprian able to jog into second with a leadoff double for Cyprian. That is his 6th double of the season, which puts him second on the team behind Eric Ramirez.
Again, they're about, you look at the league leaders in doubles, you got Holzwasser up there. I mean, where isn't Scott Holzwasser from Paul Bailey's up in the standings as Lane bounces that one off McFadden's ankle, trickles over to Groskopf, the first baseman, which they make the out.
So technically that's going to go as a 1-3 putout, and it looked like it hit McFadden right on that right ankle, which is his plant leg, and that's concerning. He's waving everybody off, as we see on the replay. Yep, right off on the inside of the ankle too. That can't feel good. Oh, it's like getting stung by a bee.
Yeah, talk about getting, fouling one off your ankle area, and this time a comebacker right off your ankle.
Yeah,
but
fortunately, it wasn't a line drive.
Yeah.
It hit the ground first, so at least that slowed it down a little bit, but that cannot feel good for a pitcher.
McFadden showing his best hockey goalie skills out there with the kick save. Saves a run as well.
And a beaut.
As Will Panarello, who's been hot at the dish. 1-0's cut on a miss. Ball and a strike, which Alex Lane, who leads the league in RBIs, unfortunately doesn't get one there. 1-1 to Panarello. Inside, 2-1.
But Lane, he struck out 17 times in 13 games coming into today, so That's a guy you circle on the lineup card and say, all right, I got to run in scoring position, nobody out. I need a strikeout here. So McFadden, that's a tough break. And now just get that run home.
Panarello loops one out to right center. Meach in center makes the catch. Throw home towards Rob Butler. Not in time. And Kettle Bottom strikes first here in the top of the second.
Another good piece of hitting where if you're Panarello, you don't try to do too much. Get the run home. Get a fly ball deep enough into that right center gap. No chance for Meach to get a throw home in time. So that's what makes Kettle Bottom so difficult. They're relentless. Just when you think, McFadden threw 7 pitches in the first inning, and all of a sudden you're down 1-0. Just like that.
As Eric Ramirez takes a called strike, and they're second in the league in average. But as you mentioned, they do a lot of the small things that add up throughout a game.
So we do have a couple of uniform changes. If you're looking at the rosters and the statistics online, you're going to see a couple different numbers than you used to. Kevin Cyprian wearing number 13, Alex Lane wearing number 2. Will Panarello also with a different number. Nate Vigent's wearing number 18, so we'll keep you updated on those changes as they come in.
2-1 for McFadden. Anthony's called a strike. Yeah, they got 2 sets of uniforms now, every team, and they got the neon, and then Eric Ramirez wearing just the regular orange.
Doesn't matter what he wears, he can hit.
As long as he can play. He's got a uniform. That's all you need for baseball.
Hey, 8 doubles. You're putting the ball in the gaps like that?
Yeah.
Take it. The UMass Dartmouth Corsair.
Ramirez, who's tied with Scott Holswath in the league for doubles. Cyprian's now up there after his double in this inning. So you got 3 guys tied for the first place lead. And so leaves that one outside, full of 3 and 2.
Ramirez, 11 hits on the summer, 8 of those for extra bases. No homers, but it's not really his game. Really good defensive shortstop, too.
Payoff pitch. Ramirez skies that one down the first base side. Grosk up the first base and wandering over. But that one just gets out of play. So we'll do it again.
With Nick Lima not in the broadcast booth this afternoon, I feel obligated to ask, have you gone through the history of Cardines Field on your broadcast, Thomas?
Done a couple times. As Ramirez jolts that one to left field. Litsky turning around. And that ball's out of here. Eric Ramirez, first home run of the summer, gets out over left field, and it's now 2-0 Kettle Bottom.
Really good swing by Ramirez. He barreled up that pitch. Got it right into that gap in the fence. You see there's a cutout where the tree is grown through. Great looking swing that time. Right off the barrel. Right in the cutout there where the tree grows through. That one, I think it would have cleared the fence regardless of where he hit it, but a little easier to get it out in that range. So, great piece of hitting there by Ramirez.
Yes, Nate Vigent takes ball 1, and you say he didn't have a home run of the season. And same thing again. It goes right after it. And
yeah, they don't give away at-bats. Ramirez doesn't homer. Been on point this afternoon.
Good thing it's 9 innings.
Well, I never said I was a good forecaster. I'm a good recapper.
You'd be a weatherman, you know?
Yeah, more of an analyst, not a meteorologist.
1 ball, 1 strike to count on Nate Vigent, the second baseman out of Rhode Island College. As Kettle Bottom struck for 2 in this inning. Vigent fouls it off the catcher. No, 2 strikes on the second baseman.
Question now is, Kettle Bottom, is how long can Healy go? He threw 19 pitches in the first inning. Typically, guys are limited to about 60, 70 pitches max. So, can he even get through 4, 5 innings? And then you're turning it over to the bullpen. And they have a good bullpen, but that's always risky.
It depends who's available. We saw Zach Leases go a couple innings. His Cleases for 5, so you got to think he's not available. Gamblin went 2 innings, but in the extra inning game on Friday night. So it kind of depends. But he used a lot of arms on Thursday, so it adds some arms as well. 2-2. Misses downstairs.
Well, if there's one name that you circle and you want to watch for, it's Mike Webb, a new addition for Kettle Bottom. He's a guy who throws hard, power pitcher, misses a lot of bats, struck out the side in his first appearance at the NCBL, so he's a guy that you can turn to in a big situation if you need a strikeout.
Vidgen just slaps one foul over towards Dave Fisher. He didn't want to make a play down there. Third base side. He's fixing something along the fence. And
might be lining up some substitutions, as he is known to do.
Yeah.
But a good defensive swing there by Vidgen just to stay alive, prolong the at-bat, make McFadden work.
McFadden's payoff once again. Vidgen hits one out towards right field. Ranging over to his right is Anthony Ramos in the gap. And he makes the catch for the third out of the inning. But Kettle Bottom strikes for 2 hits. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on base. They now lead 2-0 through an inning and a half. We're listening to Newport Collegiate Baseball League, presented by People's Credit Union.